Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Trisha, aka Motley Girl, spelled MOTLEYGRRL. Now, if you're new to my channel, you're probably just looking at me like, all right, look at this chick. But if you're not new, you're probably not even recognizing me right now, and that's because I have absolutely not one bit of makeup on. So I figured, well, since I look so bad, I'm gonna have to put a bunch of makeup on to film a video, so why not just do a get ready with me, so you can see my routine and you can see what I look like without a stitch of makeup. Like, I literally don't have anything on my face right now. You can see that I've lost half of my eyebrow. That's just from sleeping on that side of my face. I did not tweeze it, I did not wax it. It's just come off over the years from sleeping on that side of my face. So I'm gonna show you guys brushes, primers, foundations, and then on this side of me I have all of my regular makeup like mascara, eyeshadows, all kinds of stuff. So this might be a long video. Settle in if you wanna see what I do to my face to make it look like a normal person. But if you're ready to see my transformation, stay tuned and we will get started. All right, so the first thing that I do in the morning when I get up, if my eyes are puffy, which they were this morning, is put on Benefit's It's Potent Eye Cream. I put it underneath my eyes and I put it above my eyes on my eyelids because this part of my eye tends to get super puffy. So I had already done that, so I'm not gonna do it now. But the next thing that I swear by, and I don't see anybody talking about this, it's a product also by Benefit. It's called Puff Off. And it comes like this, and it has this little iron tip, like literally looks like a little iron. Just put a little bit under each eye and then kind of rub it in with this iron. And it feels good. It's nice and cool, and it'll take down a lot of my puffiness. Let me see if I can find my PoreFessional because I use that first. All right, so I have PoreFessional, which is also by Benefit, and I just use a teeny tiny amount, mostly in these areas here where I feel like I have noticeable pores. I'm pretty lucky, my pores don't show much, but I wanna make sure that they definitely don't. So I kind of rub this and pat it in to these areas right in here. So now that I've done that, what I will usually do is use my Guerlain Lure primer, which is this super expensive $74 primer. I swear this stuff is great. And I really don't put this all over my face. I just concentrate in this area here by my eyes and in the corners. I feel like it lifts my face. And this stuff will start to get tacky, and that's the time when you want to put your foundation on. It's also tightening my skin. I can literally feel it tightening my skin, and it feels good and it smells good. It has a lot of different benefits. Not only is it a good primer for your makeup, but I use this as skincare at night and sometimes in the morning. So then after that, sometimes I would just put my foundation on. Depending how I feel, I might put another primer on. My face today, it feels okay, but I probably will put another primer on. So I'm gonna show you some of the primers that I use. This is by Decay. This is the Optical Illusion Primer. This stuff is very thick and creamy. It's a very good moisturizer, and it kind of blurs all of your imperfections, and I believe it also helps with your pores. This has quickly become one of my favorites. This is the Color Self-Adjusting Primer, also by Decay. So when you put this on your face, if you're kind of blotchy in certain areas, if you're a little bit darker here, a little bit lighter here, it helps to blend everything together. It is white, and there are little black specks in it, which you probably can't see through the camera. But I just kind of rub this into these areas on my face. You can see it makes your face white, and you just keep rubbing that in until the whiteness goes away. Sometimes that's all I'll put on too, and then I'll run to the store or whatever. But the primer that I'm going to be using all over my face, even though I've just used, what, 3 already, is Kat Von D's Lock-It Featherweight Primer. I really like this because it's very, very moisturizing, and you can feel it get tacky, so you know that your foundation's going to stick to it. Yeah, definitely like a craft glue, but I actually don't mind that smell because I'm a weirdo. And I feel like my foundation really sticks well to this primer. If you guys have known me for a long time, you know that I'm not a foundation person. I've just recently started using foundations, and the foundations that I use are light to medium coverage. And then I feel like if there's a spot that needs more, I will layer on another layer. So the foundations that are my favorite right now, number one right now is the Japonesque foundation, and this is what I've been using for the most part, I'd say over the last month. Now another really good foundation, which I'm sure you guys have all heard about by now, is the Wet n Wild foundation, the Photo Focus. I used this also for a couple weeks in a row. I love it. I don't really like how the applicator is like this little plastic spatula, and this also smells like paint. But like I said, I kind of like that smell, so it doesn't bother me. And the smell doesn't stay around. Once it's on your face, you really don't smell it anymore once it dries. And then what I've used the last few times I've done my makeup is actually this Maybelline Fit Me. This is the Matte Plus Poreless Foundation. Now, what I don't like about this at all is that when you open it, it's just a bottle. Like, it's just open. There's no pump, there's no spatula, there's nothing. So you have to like pour it onto either a glass palette or the back of your hand, or what I do is I pour it directly onto my beauty blender. I've already gotten it wet. It's damp. So I'm just gonna start with like that much. I know that's a lot. So what I do is I just kind of dab all over my face. So then I'll just go back in and I use my beauty blender to blend this all in. Since I haven't done my eyebrows yet, I'm just gonna go over my eyebrows, go over my eyelids. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually really weird that I'm doing my makeup this way because I usually start with my eyes. As you can see, I just dab. Kind of hard. I just want to make sure that the product is really being pushed into my skin. And I don't go around in circles because I don't want the product to move. I just want it to go in right where it's at. It does not look bad, so I'm happy with the way this came out. You can already tell the difference. Some days I will just go from here, I will just put on my Kat Von D powder foundation, which is probably what I would do today, but since I'm doing a video, I'm gonna put on some more powder, some different powder. So this is the color, and I use this Sigma flat kabuki brush, F80. I really, really like this brush. It is very dense and very stiff. So I just kind of bounce it in here, and then I put it on my face. It's a foundation powder, so it acts as a setting powder. But we're gonna do some setting powder today because why not? So the first thing that I use is Kat Von D's brightening powder for under my eyes. And this is in the color Petal. This is her Locket brightening powder. And I take my beauty blender and I just dip it in here. There's a lot that came out. And then I'm just gonna go under my eyes. My cat just unplugged the light, so we'll be right back. All right, so anyway, I would just take this brightening powder as a setting powder for under my eyes and make sure that's pressed in really well. So for the rest of my face, there's different powders I've used. I've used the NYX translucent setting powder, but my favorite is Kat Von D's translucent powder. I'll go in with my beauty blender once again and pick it up straight with my beauty blender and put it on the rest of my face. Now I like to use a damp beauty blender when I do this because I feel like it just helps the powder melt into my face. I feel like if I were to just use a brush, it just kind of like hits the surface and then you just brush it off. And I don't know, that's not for me. I like to make sure I'm really using my products to their full potential. This is more of a matte finish, but there are other things you can do so you can make your face a little bit more luminous, such as using the Cover FX drops. Let me see if I have some over here. So I do. I have Halo Cover FX drops. These are custom enhancer drops. And I have Celestial. This is a little bit darker. You can see this is like new. This is a holographic shiny formula. Now what you can do is you can put this on your face and then put your foundation on and kind of mix it together, and it's going to create a very luminous foundation look. Or you can just put it on certain parts of your face and then that part's going to be luminous. That's the first part of my face routine. Actually, once I'm at this point where it's just foundation and powder, I will take my setting spray, which is Skindanavia. This is my ride or die setting spray. This stuff is amazing. This is a fine mist, oil-free, paraben-free, and I heard about this from Wayne Goss, who is a very respected makeup artist in my opinion, and whatever he recommends, I just feel like I can't go wrong. So I will spray this on my face just like that, and then I will take my beauty blender, and just kind of make sure that that sets in, because what that's gonna do is if there was any parts of my face that looked a little bit powdery or chalky, it's gonna blend the powder even more into your foundation. Now I will move on to do some eyeshadow. Before I put on eyeshadow, I do use a primer. I really do like the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. It's just a little fight, just a little cat fight. So I use this quite a bit, and lately what I've been using is one of these MAC Pro Longwear paint pots, because a lot of people on YouTube talk about it. So I picked it up in the color Painterly, and I like it, but I think I have a tendency to put it on too thick, and since my eyelids aren't really discolored, you don't really see any veins, I don't really need something that's going to make my eyelids even, so I'm not going to use this today. I'm just going to go ahead and use this Smashbox eyeshadow primer, and I just put it on my eyelid, and I just obviously put it on with my finger. With the MAC pot, I would use a brush. I keep losing my mirror. I'm just going to make sure that that's blended in. Also, because I put foundation on my eyelids, that also acts as a really good primer, and that might also be another reason why I'm not seeing any discoloration on my eyelids. Everything pretty much looks cohesive and the same color, so it's a good base to start with eyeshadow. I have a ton, and I mean a ton, of eyeshadows, mostly palettes. So I'm not sure what kind of look I'm gonna do today. Let me pull out a few and we'll see how I'm feeling. Okay, so I pulled out about 5 different palettes. I think I might know what I'm gonna do with my eyes, but I just wanna show you guys my favorite palettes. And I'm gonna start off with the Swamp Queen Graveyard Girls palette from Tarte. And I think I told you guys in another video that I have like 2 backups because this one's kind of destroyed. Like I've hit pan, Gator Wings is gone. I think it's time for me to open up a new palette. Number 1 palette, until I discovered Jeffree Star's palettes. I've never really been a big Jeffree Star fan, but I started to watch him again recently and he doesn't bother me that much. So I went ahead and I got his first palette, which is Beauty Killer. If you can see, I've used all of these colors. And this is usually my go-to palette, no joke. So then when he came out with his Androgyny palette, of course I had to get it. I first heard that it was gonna be his neutral palette, and I was like, oh, he's putting out a neutral palette? But as you can see, it's not exactly neutral. So this is really great. I love this palette. If I were to be stranded on a desert island, those are the palettes that I would take with me. But my recent palettes that I've really been enjoying, this one came, I believe, in a BoxyCharm monthly subscription box. This is by Naked Cosmetics, and it's very small, but I just really love these colors. And then what I sometimes use along with that is this Smashbox palette. This is the bold eyeshadow palette, and I basically bought this one because I was looking for a yellow. I end up using these three colors, which is what I think I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do like a fiery sunset look using this palette and this Naked Cosmetics palette. Now when it comes to brushes, I am stuck on my regular old Sephora brush kit. I have so many brushes for your eyes, but I always reach for this. This is it, and I think it's always on sale for like 20 bucks. And it comes with several different kinds of brushes. I've added a few more in here, like this one and this one that I got in my BoxyCharm, but this is what I use for my eyeshadow. I mostly use this one, and then this is the fluffy one that I use to blend. And the other thing that I need to use when I'm doing my makeup is this. This is generic. I got this on the Wish app. It was like $1. All it is a metal tin and like the sponge. So when you're switching colors on your brushes, you just take your brush and you rub it on here and the color comes off. So I'm gonna start off with the yellow, and I'm gonna kind of put that in the corner here and up through this area. All right, so as usual, I'm starting off with this angled shadow brush. Go for the yellow. And you can see this is super pigmented, like super pigmented. But I like color. So let me get my little mirror because I'm never gonna be able to do this just by looking in the screen. And I'm just gonna swipe this in the corner and go up towards my eyebrow. I'm gonna cover about half of my lid. And like I said, go up. I don't follow the rules, and it turns out looking great anyway. People wouldn't have any clue how I actually do my makeup unless they watched a video like this. Okay, so the pigment of that yellow really came out nice and bright, and I think it's because of the base that I had down. I had the foundation down and I had the primer down. And now I'm gonna go in with the orange and do a little bit on the center and go up a little bit. This is when you would take this spongy thing and take your brush and swirl it around to clean off the color. I'm just gonna go in the center here and go up a little bit. So, like I said, I don't really do makeup in a traditional way, probably because my eyes are mostly hooded. So if I were to go like this, I know it looks weird, it kind of looks like a clown, but when I am normally sitting here like this, doesn't look like that much color. It's only when I go like that that it looks funny. So I'm just gonna fill that in. The color's very similar. You don't have to go out past your eye, but I do because I like to be dramatic. So when you guys are doing your makeup, you're probably like, it's hard to get it even, you know, how do I know it's matching? You really start to get a feel for your face, and you can feel the bones, like your brow bone. I can feel my eye socket. So I know where to go and where to stay in the lines just from doing makeup quite a bit and just from being able to feel my bone structure with the brush. It's pretty even for just like looking into my phone and doing this without using a mirror. So I am actually going to do that right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I checked in the mirror and it's even enough. And what I'm gonna do now is go in with the Naked Cosmetics palette, which has this shimmer, and go over some of these colors just to give it a little bit of a shine. Hi, Gemma. And you can see I did get some fallout there. This is usually why I do my eye makeup first is because of the fallout, because I am very heavy-handed and I use a lot of pigment, so sometimes I grab too much color and there is fallout. But what I will do is take my fluffy blending brush and just kind of wipe that away. It came off very easily. Okay, so we look even now. And my last color is going to be this kind of cranberry color, and I'm going to put it over the red just to give it a little bit of a shimmer. Like, my makeup looks super crazy right now, but it's not gonna look this way later. I'm just putting it in the corner, kind of in the crease area, just to darken this very corner. And you can see I'm just kind of stippling it on. Makeup always looks like a mess until you're done, I promise you. All right, so now I have like a ton of makeup on my face, right? And I'm gonna go in with my blending brush and blend all this stuff together. And it looks even crazier when the rest of my face is like a bright white and then you just see this like crazy makeup. Let me find that wonderful little blending brush and I'm gonna go in and just blend everything together. You wanna blend until the color calms down and until everything just looks really smooth. You can kind of tell a difference already from this eye to that eye. This is nice and blended in here. It looks a lot cleaner. It looks a lot more subtle than it did. And you can see here, you can see the different colors and how each of them are kind of blotchy, but when I go ahead and blend that out, it's gonna look a lot better. So you can see that's given me a really nice kind of sunset look, but it has gone way out of bounds while I'm blending. And I have lost a little bit of the yellow, so I'm gonna go back in and just put a little bit more yellow in the inner corner. Now I have to clean up these edges. I'm calling these the edges because my makeup usually will go like that, so there's a lot of extra that needs to be covered. Probably shouldn't use your shirt, but it's just makeup. It's not gonna stain. But I feel like I did rub off some of my foundation, so what I'm gonna have to do now is go back in with my foundation and a little bit of powder and fix under my eyes. So I will be back after I do that. Okay, so as you can see, I really went back in and I cleaned up these lines with my Beauty Blender and some more foundation. So I have this cleaned up here. That's how I want it. I like it out, I like it up. And now we will go in and do the wing. So for my wing, I use Tardiest Double Take Eyeliner, and it looks like this. This side is kind of like, I think it's a felt tip liquid eyeliner, and then this side is your regular gel crayon type eyeliner. So when I start my eyeliner, I just start here in the center. You guys see okay? I don't know. And I go towards the inner corner. And I like it to be kind of thick here because once again, like I said, I do have kind of hooded eyes. And a lot of people say that you shouldn't do it thick if you have hooded eyes. Well, I disagree. I don't like how my eyeliner looks thin with my hooded eyes. So I like to do it extra thick. Nothing wrong with that, right? You can call me Amy Winehouse all you want. So I will get this all lined out. Try to get it even. Try to get rid of those wobbles. Now, if it's wobbly, who cares? No one's gonna be up in your face checking your eyeliner to make sure that it's perfectly straight. Nobody is, I swear. So I do that first, and then what I'll do is I'll start from the corner of my eye and flick up as far as I want to go, and then I will continue with that line from my eyelid and just connect it like that. I'm sure I made that look way too easy. sorry, but I've been doing winged eyeliner since I was 15 years old, which is way more than half my life. Now, that's a pretty good wing. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll even go in here and make this thicker. Like if I was like this all the time, like most people, it would look real pretty. But since my eye kind of goes down over my liner, I will go back in and I will make this part here thicker. Now this is not for everybody. It depends on the shape of your eye. It depends on your lids. This is just how I do my makeup. And yeah, it's thick, but I like it that way. So yeah, so that just really thickened that up. And I'm going to let that dry. So I like to use something like this to fan and make sure that my eyeliner is dry before I continue on, because it can go up and get on the rest of your eyeshadow. So that's my wing. It probably could be a little bit cleaner towards the end, but that's the way I like it. And then a lot of times what I do is I will go in and I'll make it thicker at the bottom here. I'll go into the corner of my eye and make it thicker like that, because I'm gonna do a lot of under the eye, whether it's eyeliner or eyeshadow. So that kind of balances the thickness out a little bit. I feel like my eyes are different. They're not exactly the same. So your eyeliner is never gonna be perfectly the same on both eyes. I think one of my eyes is a little bit more hooded than the other. That is my eyeliner. And you can see I didn't let it dry all the way, so it did get up above my lid. What I'll do now is, once that's dry, I'll just take a spoolie and I will scrape that off. Like I said, I know this look isn't for everybody, but we're doing my makeup today, not yours. You can see that this eye, actually a little bit on both, the eyelashes have the eyeshadow on them. And that's why I don't do my mascara until almost the very end. And then I do add false lashes, and that way it covers up the eyeshadow, because I don't want my eyelashes to be orange. I think what we're gonna do is move on to some contouring and finish up the rest of my face. And then we'll go back and do my under eyeliner, my eyebrows, and my lashes. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna do some contouring, a little bit of highlighting, and some blush. Every single day I use my Kat Von D shade and light palette to do my contouring. And I use her brush that she made especially for this palette. The brush has this tapered end, which I use for my contour, and then it has a fluffy side, which I will use for my highlight. I basically bounce between this medium color and this. I just put a little bit of the dark, because the medium's not enough and the dark is way too much. So I'll put my brush full of the medium, bounce it in the dark. Now you want to go where your natural shadow would be, which is hard to see because of this light, but you can kind of see right there. I have an indentation, so I would go right here. You can see there too. And you just want to go on that. You don't want to go too close to your lips. You want to stop probably right about here. It all depends on your face shape too. There's a lot of good videos out there that tell you how to contour for different faces. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this cheek. Just gonna get that initial line down. And I go up to my hairline. It does start off a little bit dark. But of course then you're gonna blend, 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 blend. So I make sure I get the powder in between my eyes and my hairline. You just kind of brush this on the sides. You wanna always do your sides of your forehead. And then you can go in the center. You really wanna get this blended out. You don't want it to be that dark. So that's my cheek contour, and then because I do tend to have a double chin, I also will contour my chin and my jawline. I'll go back in with the same colors and do a little bit like this. You can see those two lines there. And then just really kind of blend that in. It just kind of gives my face a little bit more of a pointy slimmer look. And then what you can do is go along your jawline to help get rid of what could be a double chin, or what is a double chin, or what appears to be a double chin. So you can also contour your neck. You can do the darker lines here and then just kind of blend it in. If you feel like you have too much contour, you can go like that with your hand. Believe me, I do that all the time. Just kind of smooth it in with your hand, and already I think that looks better. So this is Kat Von D's concealer brush. It's got a very interesting shape to it. And I don't use this brush for my concealer, but I use it to contour my nose. So when you're contouring your nose, you want to do it so very lightly because it's just going to end up making your nose looking muddy. So you want to do a straight line to make your nose look thinner. Now I know I have a small nose and I don't have to contour it, but I'm just doing this so you guys can see how to contour your nose, and hopefully I won't screw it up because a lot of times I end up making it look muddy. So you just take this and you draw a very light line, and you want it to go up into your brow bone, just kind of like that. You just want to draw two very faint lines if you can to mimic the natural shadow of your nose, and then when you blend it, you want to blend it in. The other part of my nose that I will contour is the little divots here in my nose, just to make my nose look a little bit more petite, even more petite than it already is. Okay, so that's the contouring, and now I'm gonna use the same palette and go in with the light side. And since I messed up the side of my nose, I'm gonna use this yellowish color and the peach, and I'm gonna highlight like right in there to kind of even that out. And then you can go right down the center. And there you have a highlighted nose. Okay, so I'm back with the Kat Von D brush. I'm like the most unorganized makeup person. When I'm done using something, I like literally throw it. And then when I need it again, I can't find it. So I'm gonna go back in with the yellowish and this peach, and I'm gonna go back and highlight underneath my eyes. Just kind of go over exactly where that powder was before. We're just gonna brighten up that part of my face. And then you wanna go underneath your contour to really kind of cut that, make it pop. Go above my cupid bow. I will do the center of my chin. Then I'll go and do my forehead. I didn't use my highlight yet, but I guess we can do that now, right? We're kind of doing this out of order. So this was the Jaclyn Hill collab with Becca, and this is the Nicole Guerlain, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, Anastasia collab. So these are both collabs. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna go into this Jaclyn Hill and take my champagne pop, which has been completely destroyed like 14 times. The cats kept knocking it off the counter. This is like a knockoff of a Real Techniques brush, and for the most part, it just kind of goes into a point. So I don't know the number, I don't really know what kind. I'm just gonna tap lightly in here and go right in here for the highlight. This is more of a subtle golden highlight. Whew, that looks nice. I'm gonna be real sad when this runs out because as you can see, it looks really freaking nice. And then I will take a little tiny bit and go down a little bit in the center of my nose right there. I wanna do the tip of my nose and my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin, and of course a little bit on my forehead. Next up, I guess we will do some blush. I have this PoreFessional makeup blush palette, and there's a ton of different color blushes in here. I'm really glad that I have this because it all depends on my look, what color blush I'm gonna wear. I'm using a knockoff Real Techniques brush I'm pretty sure it's from the Wish app. What I'm gonna use is this color here, kind of like a brownish peach, because I feel like that goes with my eyes. And what I do is I literally just stamp the brush, and then I stamp it on my cheeks, and I do my apple, and I go up a little bit towards my hairline. Now, I found that you can put like a ton of blush on, and by the time you're done with your makeup, it's like gone. Now, this might be like super old school, but like I also kind of brush it a little bit up in here and on my chin. I don't think people do that these days, but that's what my mom used to do. Let's go in just a little bit with the Nicole palette, with the white, which is called Forever Lit, and I'm just gonna real quick go in this area just to grab that highlight out a little bit more because the blush kind of knocked it down. So you can see it looks a little bit powdery, but since I'm pretty much done with my face, I'm gonna go in with my Skindanavia and set it again. Actually, what I'm gonna do first is take my MAC Fix Plus and spray it in my eye area. That's usually what I do when I'm done with my eyeshadow, because I feel like it brightens it and really makes it pop like it should. That's what MAC Fix Plus does. It enhances the color. The nice thing about this is when it comes out, it sprays like that. So it's not really a mist, which goes everywhere. It's very much directed at your face. I can take my beauty blender and just dab these areas that I felt were real powdery. So everything looks pretty good, and I think I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows, which is gonna be kind of scary doing it live on camera, but we'll see what happens. And I'm not gonna use it today. I'm gonna use the Dip Brow by Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I wanted to show you guys what my other option is when I feel like switching up my brows. So I actually have a few different colors. I feel like these browns are so dark on me lately, so I haven't used this auburn in quite a while, but I think I'm gonna use it today and see what happens. I picked this up from Benefit. This is their brow brush. This is kind of used up, and it's probably gonna be on the drier side. So let's see how this is gonna work out. Now, when I go in with my brush, I just use a little bit of product. This is actually pretty dry, so I might put more on than I normally would. You guys can't really see. Normally, I just take this and I just push it in, and that's like enough. I first start out by outlining the top of my eyebrow. Yeah, this is actually really dry. So I think what I'm gonna do is take a drop of this maracuja oil in there and see if that helps. Okay, so I put 2 drops in and I mixed it up, and it seemed like it really brought the formula back. So let's see if it did or not. I kind of like my eyebrows to be arched with a point. Not too bad. But anyway, what I do is I outline the top of my brow, and then I just kind of start to fill it in. But then I make sure that this part is a little bit thicker. I don't do those Instagram brows where it's like ombre. I think that looks so fake. Because if you look at my real brows, it's like the same color here as it is here. It's not ombre. But for the most part, you really just kind of want to give some definition to your brow and shape it out, shape it the way you want it. There we go. That's how I do my brow. This one's kind of bold, but that's because I'm using the Dip Brow, and it's also because I'm using the auburn and the formula is not that great. So I'm gonna do the other brow on camera. You guys can go ahead and fast forward because I'm sure it's gonna be boring, but as long as I'm filming, I might as well do the other brow. So I just start off the same way. outlining the top and bringing it to that arch that I like. Now this is the eyebrow that half of my hair is rubbed off of, so it's kind of easier to do that shape that I like. Now guess what? I don't go in with concealer and like fix them. I don't like it. Use my spoolie just to kind of blend everything in together. Brow gel, and just kind of make sure this is set. Right now, look, I feel like this one's out a little bit more towards the center of my face than my left one, so I'm gonna have to go back in and just drag that out a little bit. Now, to be absolutely perfect, I could go in with some concealer or foundation and fix the top here, but it's good enough. I'm not like Miss Instagram brow. We just got a little bitty bit left to go, okay? For my bottom eyeliner, I am gonna use the other side of this Tarteist Double Take eyeliner, which is like a gel crayon, regular eyeliner. You can see that comes out. Just turn it. And I like to put a decent amount of eyeliner on my bottom eye. My bottom waterline that goes up into my wing. So I did go on the waterline and I did go below my lash line. All right, so I have my bottom eyeliner on, and I'm actually gonna go back in with the Naked Cosmetics palette and put some of that eyeshadow below that to really smoke out the bottom line and to bring it all together. So to do that, I'm gonna use this brush that actually came, I believe, in a BoxyCharm. Again, I'm gonna stamp it in the eyeliner, and I'm gonna do the orange in the center, right underneath where I did my black eyeliner. And then I'm going to take that cranberry and I'm going to use that kind of like here on the edge, just to really get that color dragged below my eye as well as above my eye. Take one of my blending brushes and just blend that together. Now I'm gonna move in with some mascara. My two favorite mascaras are Urban Decay's Perversion, Bigger Blacker Batter, and Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I know a lot of people love this or they hate it. I like it for my lower lashes. I'm gonna just use this Urban Decay Perversion to coat my lashes to get rid of any kind of powder or anything that is on them from the eyeshadow. I don't curl them. I don't really follow the rules, in case you haven't come to that conclusion on your own. Almost done, I swear. So when I do my bottom lashes, I use the tip and I go back and forth, right and left. And you can see that really makes my bottom lashes pop. Most people would just continue with mascara and thicken out their lashes, but I'm gonna go all the way today and put on some falsies. So I'm gonna use my Lily lashes. There's a couple pair in here, but the ones I'm gonna be using are called Goddess. Those are my favorite by Lily Lashes. So these have already been worn a few times. Looks like there's some blue glitter on there, but whatevs. Now, just in case you didn't see my applying the false eyelashes video, I just want to show you guys really quick how I remove the glue. I just take a pair of tweezers and I see where the excess glue is and I just pull it off. These Lily lashes you can wear between 20 and 30 times if you take care of them. All right, so I have my eyelashes. They are ready to go. I am holding them with my eyelash helper, And there are two different types of glue that I use. I use the Duo Eyelash Adhesive in the dark color, which dries black. And I also use the House of Lashes glue. This looks green, but it dries black. This stuff does not hold as well and as long as the Duo glue. This stuff I've slept in my lashes and worn them the next day. I am going to use the House of Lashes glue, and this comes with a brush. The other one just comes out of the nozzle in a little gloopy fashion. And I'm just going to coat this as well as I can because I can't really see with this lighting. And then you want to let it dry a little bit to get tacky before you actually apply it to your eye. So you want to wait about 30 seconds. All right, so once you feel like your eyelash glue is almost dry and it's real tacky, what you want to do is put your head back a little bit. You don't want to close your eyes. Just kind of put your, you're not really squinting, but you're kind of closing your eyes halfway. And you're going to put the lashes, you're going to hold the lashes so the lashes are like up. Like you don't want to go like this and put them straight on. You want them to follow the natural curve of your eyelash. So you want to hold them like this. And you want to make sure that you kind of go with the center first, push it on, and then you can squeeze the ends and make sure that they're like that. Just went really well. I don't know, I'm kind of a false eyelash expert maybe, but if you make sure you use just the right amount of glue and you wait until the glue is tacky, almost dry, you will be able to place them and they are going to stick right away. If you put too much glue on and you put the eyelashes on when the glue is still really wet, they're just gonna slide around. They're not gonna stick. They're gonna come right off and you are not gonna get the outcome that you're looking for. As you can see, that was super easy. They are on perfectly. And that is the reason why I use false eyelashes over mascara, because it's really that easy. Okay, so now I have my left eyelash preparing to dry and put on. Now, the reason these probably went on so easily is because I have worn these several times. So the more you wear them, the more they kind of take to the shape of your eye. And, you know, it's quick. You don't have to cut them. You don't have to measure them. They're ready to go. So the first time you use a pair, it might take a little bit longer because you're measuring, you're cutting, you're trying to get them to stick to your eye because they're kind of straight. But after you use them a few times, you can literally just pop them on. Just like that. I probably just jinxed myself. So let's see how easily this one goes on. You want the band to follow the natural curve of your eye. And I could tell that was like, that glue was like literally almost dry because it stuck right away. So there we have it. And if one appears longer than the other, you can always just try and push it back. Depends on how it's sitting on your eyelid. So yeah, that's basically the last thing I do is put on my false eyelashes. So then sometimes just to top it all off, especially since it's getting warmer out and spring will be turning to summer, I will take my Marc Jacobs bronzer with my huge fluffy It Cosmetics brush number 3 jumbo powder, and just lightly put some bronzer over my entire face. Just sweep it over. It gives a little bit of a sheen, a little bit of an extra glow. Also kind of blends everything together. And I will definitely take this and bounce it onto my neck and onto my chest area so everything just kind of blends together. Use this to blend into your ears. Make sure you don't have any lines. Nothing worse than going out and having a foundation line, right? You can see exactly where it starts and ends. So other than lipstick and my hair, I pretty much think that this look is done. So I'm gonna go pop on a wig. You know what, guys? Since this has been a full get ready with me, why stop here? Why not show you guys how to put on a wig? I've gotten a lot of comments from you guys that you want to see how to apply a wig, you want to know more about wigs, and here we'll do a real quick wig application just to give you guys an idea of how easy it really is. So what I have around my neck is a wig cap. It's open on both ends. This is the kind that I like. There's a thick band here that's gonna go around your hairline, and the rest of it just kind of goes up straight to eat up all your hair like that. So I go ahead and I do this first. Make sure that this band is around my hairline. I leave my hair in somewhat of a goofy bun or ponytail. And then I will pull out the band. Just like that. And I will stuff it into this sock type thing. I kind of just push it back and make sure it's pretty much flat to my head, which it is, and then I will apply my wig. So today I decided to go with this blonde wig, which looks pretty natural. This one has a middle part. I'll show you the inside. You can see that there are combs, and this chunk here, this is the back of the wig. This is the part that you want to be at the base of your neck. I don't know. I was gonna do half and half, but it didn't really work out that way. So you just kind of put it on like that, super easy. Make sure that the back part is all the way down. Then you want to make sure that none of this band is showing. So you just want to make sure that it's right at that point. Now there are combs in here, so you can stick your thumb in and feel around for those combs. And you just want to push that into your hair, and that is going to help. See, there's the comb. I'm putting it underneath the cap, and that's going to help secure the wig. Now you can actually see part of the lace. It lifts up, but when it's down, like, you can't even tell that that is a wig. Helps to complete the look. And I guess all we have left is lipstick, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with Kat Von D's Double Dare. This is it right here. It looks kind of pink, but it's actually like a mauvey brown. Sometimes I use lip liner. Today, obviously, I'm skipping it. I don't know how some people put their lipstick on like so incredibly perfect, because I have the hardest time. It goes well with the hair and the eye look. And what I'm actually gonna do is take a little bit of Lolita and just go over lipstick a little bit. This is my baby Lolita. I couldn't find my big one right now. And this is just gonna make this not so bright. I layer lipstick all the time. Anyway, like I said, I'm really bad at putting on lipstick. So hopefully it's not too crooked. But yeah, guys, that completes my look. Whew, this was a long video. What a difference, right? From when I first started. It's pretty crazy. I will eventually link everything that I use down below in the description box. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this magical transformation from puffy, absolutely no makeup face to kind of this glam sunset wide awake look. Now I look awake. Now I look like I can go and I can get on with my day, even though it is 6:40 at night. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys realize not everybody can put lipstick on like they seem to on YouTube. I have a really hard time. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't really know how many more I'll be doing like this, especially not like the full face type stuff. Maybe I'll do some eye tutorials, and maybe I'll do a separate like eyebrow tutorial and things like that. So